right, this is People's 105.5 FM, and the program you're listening to is Climate Fact File, and we're discussing innovative approach to climate action and policy by the Nigerian youth. And we have a very strong Nigerian youth here. He is a member of is actually a national speaker at the National Youth Assembly of Nigeria, and he's actually a climate action advocate. Yes. Amazing. So before we actually go into the topic right here, what inspired you into the subject of climate change and all like that?
Thank you very much, Miss Ify. When we are talking about climate change, to achieve climate action is a collective work, and it's something that should be done by everyone, not only the government or some certain categories of people. This is something that we all want. We all don't want a situation where we will have an environment that we cannot even live in it. We want a better future for our children, for our grandchildren. So if this is the case, that means that we must try to see that we participate in the mitigation of the climate change, and also to see that we contribute in this mitigation. One of the major reasons that motivated me personally in this climate action is that the Sustainable Development Goals. I can say that I am an advocate for the SDGs. Inside the Sustainable Development Goals are 17 goals that are very critical to every woman in the world.
Great.
So these are goals that I feel like they are very critical to everyone, and most importantly the youth. In the next 30 to 40 or 50 years, we the youth, we are going to be the beneficiaries of these goals.
Amazing.
So we cannot allow old people or elderly people to be in charge of implementing of these goals. We are the beneficiaries of this goal. So as the beneficiaries, you should contribute no matter how small.
Amazing.
When you look at the population of Nigeria, more than 220 million Nigerians, among which 70% are all young people.
Yes.
So imagine this 70% of this 220 million. If you say all these people are going to help small, even if it is just to remove one bottle on the road, imagine what's the impact that we are going to achieve. So with this kind of population, we have a huge advantage that we can achieve a very, very, very big impact. So that's why these goals are 17 goals that are very critical, and we as the beneficiaries, we feel like it's critical that we help in the implementation of these goals. For me, this is the particular reason that motivated me to go into all these climate actions and other agenda. In this goals, I think the climate action is goal number 13, which always advocated for climate action, mitigation of climate change and other. So this is the main reason that motivated us. And in the Assembly, the National Youth Assembly of Nigeria, when I emerged as national speaker, that was 2023. We sat down together with our members. We said, okay, as an assembly and as a legislative body for the youth that guide the youth and in political inclusion and also other way of life, what can we do that we can leave legacy? We decided that, okay, we have something, we have frameworks like the SDGs. Why can't we pick these goals and decide to be working on these goals one after the other? We have 17 goals.
Exactly.
If we pick these 17 goals, zero hunger, low poverty, climate action, all this. If we pick these goals and we decide to be working with these goals one after the other, I'm telling you, before you know it, these goals will serve as our blueprint. And ever since we came into this 5th Assembly, we have been working on this goal particularly. We launched a program at the Brazil Embassy last year, February, which we call it the Enyan SDG Summit. We launched that program to advocate for SDGs, particularly 5 key SDGs, which is the zero hunger, quality education, good health and well-being, and the climate change. We launched this program to advocate 5 SDGs. We launched the program in partnership with the Brazil Embassy, the United Nations Development Program, the Office of Special Advisor to President on SDGs, and we launched that program. We brought stakeholders together. We sat down. We discussed about this climate action, climate change, and the Sustainable Development Goals, and we provide solution. We heard from experts about how we can implement this. After that, Kuma, we decided that, okay, after the program, this is a project-driven program. So now we are working on a way that we are going to implement these things that we spoke about in the program, which we are currently in the phase now.
Great. We need to take an advert right now, and we'll be right back.
Vegetables have a way of taking us on a journey. And when you add plenty of vegetables like efo, ugu, and season with the rich taste of North seasoning cubes, even better.
So, go ahead and elevate your meals with more vegetables and the rich taste of Knorr cubes. Today, eat for good.
All right, it's People's 105.5 FM. I'm already excited because it looks like our guest is loaded for us today. Yeah, before we went on that break, we were having conversations on why, he actually went into that. One of the particular things I picked from your contribution right now before we actually went on that break was the fact that we have a large number of youths, and we don't want a situation whereby the large population will just allow only a few population decide and work on what concerns them in the future. I think this is actually a very great thing. You're thinking sustainably, right? Thinking about the future. This is actually a very good way to actually live, if you ask me. Now, speaking to the young Nigerians outside, out there, those who are in other spaces doing stuff, but I feel like sustainability concerns everyone. Even if you're working in the bank, even if you're whatever you're doing, one way or the other, climate change still affects you. Now, how can young Nigerians actively participate in shaping climate policies at the local and national levels?
Okay, I believe there are various ways that we can participate. But to be honest, whenever we are talking about policies, policies are for the government. We, the people, we should only help the government in the implementation of policies. But sometimes it's good to participate in shaping these policies.
Yeah.
So whenever we're talking, we already, like I told you, Nigeria is a signatory to the Paris Agreement, which brought through the Conference of Nations. I think now we are in COP29, we are having COP30 this year. So Nigeria being a signatory of Paris Agreement already, for me, it's not enough. I feel like there is need for state government to also come up with their climate policies. I think I went for a program last week. Someone was saying that there would only 5 states have climate framework in Nigeria. And when it comes to implementation and when it comes to making impact, I feel like states have a vital role to play than even national government, than even federal government. So if states can come up with a tailored suit climate policy for each of their states, then I believe the implementation will be much, much, much easier than only at the federal level.
Don't you feel like it's because the youths, as it is right now, the concerns of the youths is not so much geared towards climate action, and so like the states feel like, okay, I feel this is not what we need right now, because asking how the youth can actually shape. If you ask me, some of these states who already have framework, there are conversations at first that would have actually led to, okay, you know what, I think this is a necessity. But if we have a large population, which are the young people, laid back towards things that has to do with climate action, don't you think it will affect the policy decision and even framework for particular states?
What I believe is that, just like I told you, the states have a much bigger role to play than the national government. When it comes to this kind of implementation, most of the states, they have what they call SA to the governor on SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So I feel like this is a great start, And one thing is that people might not know the danger of what we are facing, but the government know the danger. We all know what climate change is. The government knows the danger. So you as leader, knowing the danger of something, it's easier for you to enlighten the people.
Amazing, great.
And let them understand that this is the danger, and put in measures that you can prevent this. As a governor, you know the effect of climate change. The recent floods that's happening in various states. There are many issues that are happening in various states. I'm telling you, if governors can take this as a personal project and pay attention to it, I assure you that people will start focusing on it. But if a governor is not paying attention to all these kind of issues, how will people pay attention? I know many states have this SDG, but most of them, they are not doing anything. They are just there as SDGs. So imagine if governor have this SDGs and they are like implementing things, they are participating well, they are enlightening people, going to the grassroots communities, doing this as a personal project for the governor. I'm telling you, people will start to see it as important as it should be seen.
Great.
So that's what I believe. State government should take this seriously. Before you know it, people will follow. And people will be carried along in terms of the development.
I wanted to enlighten the audience right now, because I like doing this for every of my guests that come here, on the danger, the disaster of not taking action. Because now, if we talk about, people need to take action, what are the consequences of inaction? If everyone is, quiet about this, both from the top to, the grassroots, what are the dangers? Bearing in mind some of the, the things that are already at stake in the country. You mentioned flooding and all like that. What is the adverse impact of, not taking action?
And when we are talking about climate change, there are a lot of impacts. We are all seeing it. Number one is that we all see the rising sea level that's happening in the world. We all see the emissions, too much emissions that we have. So these are the impacts. With time, I'm telling you that disasters, small disasters will continue to be happening. Though I believe that with good implementation strategy, I believe that some disasters will be averted. But there are a lot of things that will happen due to not taking this kind of taking this kind of climate issues seriously. So in Nigeria, I think one of the major things that we see in terms of this climate action is about flooding. Just the recent flood that happened in Maiduguri, for example, how many people lost their homes? Which in terms of developmental or economics perspective, is a loss to the state.
Yes.
Because many people lose their homes, their shelter, so all these kind of things. If there are climate policies that should have even averted this thing, control all these kind of things, and alert the government of these kind of issues before it even happened, then I believe that precautions will be taken before this kind of things happen. So this flood is the major consequences that I believe that Nigerians will be facing if care is not taken. But we are not hoping for it to happen. We are hoping that by God's grace, the state government and the federal government will make more effort, and we personally, as individuals, will make more effort to protect our environment and to sanitize our community.
Great. You attended the last COP 29. Yeah. Are there lessons that the Nigerian youth need to understand, need to take note of from the last COP you attended, and things we need to start putting in place in preparation of the next COP?
There are a lot of lessons from the last COP. The last COP, the COP 29, was held in Azerbaijan, and there are a lot of more than 100 countries participated in the COP. But the issue is that at the COP, people did not get what they expected. So the expectations were too high in terms of the financing.
Okay.
Most of the parties went there, especially developing nations, went there seeking huge finances. At the end of the day, only $300 and something billion were able to be raised when people were expecting more than $2 trillion. So you can see the disappointment. Many countries were disappointed. But like I said before, is that I hate it when people always link climate action to financial benefit or to finance. Especially we developing countries. We only go to the COP just to seek for finance. Give us this finance. I know that most of the finance will not go to the right place. Most of the finances will not go to the right place. So let us participate. There are various ways that you can participate. The COP is one of the biggest events. You will meet development partners. You will meet countries. You will meet everyone that can help you, help your country. So it's not only about the finance. So the expectation, because of the expectation, the high expectation, and the high expectation, people were disappointed that the finances obligations were not met and other, So, but for me, I feel like that the finance is not the only aspect. There are a lot of people, like I said, you can meet there. A lot of companies, international and multinational companies were there. countries that you can meet, partner with, in terms of synergize with. Hear them. For example, you are a country A, I'm a country B. I can meet you. What are the solutions you are putting in your country in terms of climate mitigation? You will tell me, I will tell you my own. Before you know it, we have synergized that. We'll go back to our countries and work on this. What I was disappointed in the last COP was that there was no representative of the youth Nigerian representative, tentative or tangible representative of the youth at the conference. So I feel like when we are going to this kind of conference, youth should be carried along. From the government perspective, let them carry youth along. There are many climate activists, for example. Let them carry them along. The government parties, let them go there. But I'm telling you that there were no much youth. Most of the youth that I saw there, most of them went there on their own.
Wow.
So which most of them, by going there on their own, they cannot make any impact.
Yeah.
But if they are part of the government delegation, for example, that's when they will sit down in the negotiation table, and they will after the program they can decide to make some impact because they went there with the government. So what I'm pleading with the government is that this upcoming COP event in Brazil, COP 30, please, government should carry the youth along. Let the youth go there, synergize with other
youth.
What
can be gotten can also be used for economic growth.
For economic growth, exactly. Let the youth go there, participate in this kind of COP, and also make contributions. The COP is a broad event that everyone is welcome to participate. Everyone is welcome to make contribution. But at the end of the day, the people that are implementing this are not much. So I believe if government can be able to carry the youth along to the next COP, then I believe the outcome will be much more better than
effective
this COP.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Wow, great information from the guest in the studio. We're going to go on a music break right now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation, innovative approach to climate action and policy by the Nigerian youth.
It's green, oh, the land is green, it's green, can't you see? I can see all the harvest is ready, 'cause he told me so. It's green and it's all mine. As the clouds go gray, the thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way for the pouring of my blessings. I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance in the rain. It's for my seed to grow, for every prayer and every seed I've sown. Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance. Once again, it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me, but we're just beginning. Whoa, my life is a journey. I will walk with you, I will go where
It's still People's 105.5 FM, and this is Climate Fact File. And we have in the studio Honorable Ambassador Usman Bashir Shagari, and he's been doing justice to the topic before us: innovative approach to climate action and policy by the Nigerian youth. Talking about innovative approach, let's talk about the tech angle of finding solutions to climate change, because if you interrogate 10 out of Nigerian youths, you definitely hear something about tech. People want to be tech savvy. People want to be innovative. So do you think there are ways where people can actually embrace, Nigerian youth can actually synergize tech and finding solutions towards climate action? Is there a point where these can meet?
Yeah, I believe that there's a point where this two can meet, because just like I said before, when it comes to climate action, it's not only about the cure, it's about the even prevention. What can you do to prevent it from even happening? So I believe there's a lot technology can do in terms of averting climate crisis and other climate action. So by using tech, all of us in Nigeria, we are enthusiasts of climate. Technology.
Yes.
So with the bright mind that we have, we can use technology to see how we can avert climate change. To see how we can even prevent it from happening. It's not only about the cure. What are the preventive measures that are put in place? While I was in this Baku, I met a Japanese company that was excellently doing well in terms of climate aversion. They had a simulator of how they avert flood, simulator of how they avert all this severe rainfall, all these kind of things. Whenever we talk about technology, Japan is among the number one.
Yes.
So I believe that Nigeria will also have passionate youth that can key into technology, and bring some technological things that we can help prevent the climate disasters in Nigeria. So all we need is that whenever you are talking about technology is something that need support. And when it comes to the youth, particularly finance, you need finance to come up with some technological solutions.
Yes.
So if the government can provide, for example, a way where they will be supporting climate-based initiative for the youth, from the youth. So I feel like that one will motivate people to key into this climate actions matter, and to see how they can come up with solutions. So for example, if government can set up an initiative where they will only support, for example, if it is just 100 companies, 100 startup to come up with climate prevention technologies, I assure you that a lot more than thousands will apply for that.
Yes.
And most of them will be excellently well. So I feel like that initiative should come up from nowhere, and to see how they can make it competitive. How people can come up with their climate solutions, ideas, and government to support them to continue in the journey. So this is the way forward. I feel like the government can do this.
Yeah. So as a member of the National Youth Assembly of Nigeria, is there any way that the organization, the body, has been promoting or canvassing for, uniquely in the climate change issues and all like that? Is there something that we should know you're doing differently?
Yeah. I think just like I told you, we launched a program last year, and the program is a project-driven program. It's not only a project-driven program, so it's not a program that we'll just do and go. It's a program that currently we are at the implementation stage, and we decided to implement it in as much state as possible.
Oh, great.
We have the reach all over Nigeria, but we don't have the capacity to go to every state. So that's why now we are picking region, one region at a time, to see how we can go there, relaunch the program, number one, and number two, get support that we will be going to the people at the grassroots level, implementing this sense
and ensuring
exactly sustainability of the program and of these goals. So that's what we are working on. Last year, towards October, we launched the program in Bauchi State, which is the first in the south and in the northeast, where we launched the program. We brought stakeholders from government, from business together, and we sat down, we discussed all these issues. We got some support from them And we decided to see how we can be going to people at grassroots level to be enlightening them, most especially at the primary level, children at the primary level. Let them know this climate change before they even grow up. So we are enlightening people right from the primary school. Let them know the climate change, let them know what it stands for, and also let them see the effect of all this. So this is what we are doing. This is the little we are doing. We are not doing much, but we are making impact.
But really, that's really a large impact, if you ask me, because, impacting those young ones, because at the end of the day, I was having a conversation yesterday with one of the top leaders, part of the people who pushed for the NCCC, that we have right now. Yeah. And he was saying something. He said everything they were canvassing for, at the end of the day, is still for the young people. Yeah. Because in 30 years to come, in 20, they will not. Most of them might not be here anymore. Exactly. But now the people who will feel this impact are those people who are already here. So trust me, that's a large thing you're doing.
The funny fact is that I personally, I didn't even know about these SDGs until I was even about to graduate from the university.
Wow.
So imagine if you say I know this right from the primary school.
Exactly. You would have been.
It would have been better. That's why there are a lot of curriculum change in Nigeria.
Exactly.
We need to just focus on the important things. Student of primary school should not be taking 15 or 10 subjects. Honestly. Just focus on the most important things that affect their life.
Telling us how to draw a mosquito.
Exactly. So all these things are not necessary. So there's need for curriculum change in Nigeria. Yeah. All the important things should be included in the in the curriculum. Let people know. If you know this climate things right from primary level, do you think that you will grow up and just take it for granted? Exactly. If I know these climate issues, from primary school, I assure you that I will have even make more impact than now.
Wow. So I wanted to advise the young people who are listening, who probably are thinking, okay, I think like you said, we might not have known it from secondary school or even the university, but I really am passionate about the environment. I'm passionate about Mother Earth. I'm passionate about climate activities, and I want to start a move around climate action. What do I do? How do you advise this sector of people?
I always advise people to use the 3 R's. I got it from somewhere. Number 1, reuse. Number 2, recycle. Number 3, number 1, reuse, recycle, and
reduce.
Exactly. Reuse, recycle, and reduce.
Yes.
So I always encourage people to use this 3 R's. Number 1 is that reuse what you are doing. We all know the
plastic waste.
The plastic waste, exactly. So whatever you are doing, find a way to recycle, to use it. Number 2, to recycle this things. And number 3, to reduce it. Reduce what you are doing. If you are taking bath of 10 minutes, for example, make it 5 minutes. If you are wasting light anyhow, reduce it. So all these small things, if you can reduce, reuse, and recycle, I assure you these are the small impacts that you can make, and that will start making changes. So start with these 3 R's and start from your community. Don't even go outside anywhere. Just start from where you are. Start from the community.
I'm telling you, people need to from that community.
From that community. You don't need to be going outside, or just start from the community. That's why if you go to most of these countries like Dubai or wherever you go, they have waste bin where you put plastic cans, you will put, they have everything. Even some of them, even to the extent that they have them in their houses. So they have where to keep plastic bottles, glass bottles, all this kind of thing. So when they come to pack it, they know exactly how to pack it, and where to take this one, where to take this one, where to take this one. So if Nigeria, we can have that the synergy in us, or that energy in us to be doing all this kind of thing, then I believe that we can make impact. So let us focus on these 3 R's. I assure you that we will start making impacts gradually. We don't need to go far.
Amazing. This was actually a very great conversation with you. So like we've heard, you need to reduce, reuse, and recycle your waste. Little things we do would go a long way to actually make impact in the environment. This is People's 105.5 FM, and it's Climate Fact File. We had an amazing guest in the studio, Honorable Ambassador Usman Bashir Shagari, and he has done justice to the topic before us: innovative approach to climate action and policy by the Nigerian youth. So if you're a Nigerian youth listening, from the place where you are, from the little environment, and even your workplace, the little things you do would go a long way to make an impact in your environment. If we begin to do little things, like I always say on every of my program, that starting this program has given me the consciousness of segregating my waste, and also the consciousness of how I dispose my waste. I don't just, because I feel like the earth on its own is an entity. So it's like a disrespect when we don't, follow that 3 hours that you just mentioned. Thank you. All right. So we have to come to the end of today's episode of Climate Fact File. And I want to thank my guest. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really grateful to have you here. It's really great to have you on this program. And also many thanks to my producer, Miracle Festus. You are amazing. The executive producer of this show, Charles Carlo. Thank you so much, sir. Now, climate change, like I say, is not just a future challenge, it's a present reality, and each of us has a role to play in shaping a more sustainable future. Remember, small actions today can lead to big changes tomorrow, so let's take what we've learned and apply it to our daily lives. Join me next time for Climate Fact File here on People's 105.5 FM Abuja. I am Ife Onyekiri, and until next time, bye.